And this is one of the few space-based startups that has a very high potential based on its focus area.
If I talk about their business model, they earn majorly from the rental income plus additional services like food, annual maintenance, and interest.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Bi-Weekly Digest with Fibonacci X. Today we have Preksha and Samir with us. We'll be again discussing interesting deals which have happened over last 15 days, and the idea is to bring a flavor uh, at a particular business model or the sector level. So let's go ahead with the first startup.
I think I can begin with the startup, and it's in the again one of the few industries that has gained a lot in the I would say past few months, and that's thanks to I guess Prime Minister and the government of India's initiative to open up the space industry, like space tech, satellite, and I would say any kind of space exploration industry to the investors in the last 1 month, 1 year, sorry. So the first startup is Oli Space. Oli.space is the website you can go to. OLEE.space. It got a funding of almost $3 million in seed round, and it was led by Rockstar Capital and a few global investors. The founders are James Solomon and Suman Hirmat, and this is one of the few space-based startups that has a very high potential based on its focus area. So it focuses on three areas, which are the first one is the biggest chunk is called free space optical communication, FSOC. What it is basically it uses a low powered infrared lasers for ultra fast secure data links over land, air, sea, and space. You imagine Starlink, it is an FSOC based technology. And why it matters is because it avoids spectrum congestion in radio frequency. So there's no need for underground fiber and offers near 5G, 6G level of throughput or throughput, you could say, with low latency. The USP here is that right now to have 5G levels of internet or 6G levels of internet, you require a fiber trenching or fiber opticals, right, to be deployed. In this case, if you use FSOC, which is basically a set of satellites in LEO, lower Earth orbit, and it gives you extremely fast, I would say, internet, if you can call it, or any kind of data links without having to have like a fiber optical in place, right? So that is the first area that is going to disrupt. And if you look at it, it's almost a $10 billion industry heading towards 20. There are established players out there like Starlink, OneWeb, and some urban telecom networks out there. The second focus area of Oli.space is quantum secure networking. Uh, it uses quantum key distribution to enable tamper-proof and military-grade encryption. So these kind of networks can be used for defense, for banking, for any enterprise customers who want to pay high premium for unhackable networks, right? Even in medical, I guess it can be used, but it's mostly, I think, could be used for banking and defense. And yeah, even for telecoms can be upselling this kind of quantum encrypted security or connectivity as a high margin service. And the third, I would say, the focus area here is directed energy weapons or DEWs. So the tech that Space is working on is basically laser based, can also be used to counter drone attacks or to pinpoint targets on the land. So it is also going to be a very lucrative and interesting tech to be used in defense technology. Now, if you look at the revenue streams that one can think of looking at the products that they have, the first one, FSOC, you could imagine like you selling to optical commercial devices or deployment services in telecom industry, tying up with Reliance, Airtel, or Geo in the long run, and and yes, even a lot of space agencies or any terra mapping industries, right? And then you have quantum secure modules, which is basically the military grade networking. So this can be sold to financial companies, banking companies, and even defense sectors in India can buy it out. And then you have potential defense contracts based on the direct, what was it? If I'm correct, directed energy weapons, which are lasers, right? So there are multiple ways that I can see revenues coming in, and the revenues are coming in from a developing and an ongoing, always growing industry, right? So it's a very interesting startup, and fortunately, these kind of startups are getting funding. If I'm correct, since the time we have began doing this podcast, the last 2 3 months, almost 15 to 20 startups have popped up in space tech industry in India, satellite based or manufacturing based, whatever you can call it. And it's a very healthy sign of a growing startup ecosystem, at least in India for space tech. And if you think of radio frequency as a 20th communication, you can view lasers and quantum links could be the 21st century standard for high and secure capacity networks in the coming years. And Oli Space is not only gonna disrupt this market, it's straddling two massive markets, specifically telecom and defense with this. So this dual use case gives it an edge, and it's a very rare Indian deep tech startup, and it's a bet with both civilian as well as military upside attached to it. So yeah, I mean, hopefully they are improving their products, and they can find the use case and also churn up contracts from defense, and hopefully over time with a lot of private telecom and banking and industries.
What was the deal size for this one?
It was a seed round for almost $3 million.
Okay.
It is a big one for space tech, at least in India.
Yeah.
Usually it's around sub $1 million. This is one of the few, ones which have gone above $1 million in India. It's a pretty
Got, got it.
good
Got
round.
it. Got it. Got it.
So the next startup we are going to talk about is R for Rabbit. It comes in one of the themes which we also look at in Fibonacci X is Gen Alpha. So let me talk about their story first. How it started was by a couple from Ahmedabad, and it comes from a very personal story. When they became parents, they realized there were hardly any safe certified baby products in India. So instead of importing, they decided to build their own brand. And their whole idea behind it was that they wanted to build a safe, design led, affordable baby product brand for Indian parents. Their model is currently omni-channel, and they sell through their own website and app. Also, they are present on many marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, FirstCry, and they have a strong offline presence as well through 2000 plus channel partners. What's interesting is that they have also built a community of around 50 lakh parents, and 45% of their sales are coming purely from organic traffic. So if I talk about the competition in this space, First Cry is the biggest operator as they work in marketplace plus private label pair model, and they have 900 exclusive and franchisee stores and a huge retail footprint as well. Then you have Me and Moms or Me, which follows a store heavy model, which is vertically integrated with their own outlets, franchisees. And then there is Love Lab, which is a more distribution driven model, which is selling across marketplaces. Coming to R for Rabbit, it's a single brand design first. It's a more community led player rather than a marketplace or a retail heavy model. The recent funding they raised was of 225 crores, which was led by Filter Capital and 314. It also included a secondary component which allowed their early investors to exit. That is, Exponentia made a full exit in this round. For their revenue, they have been growing at 35% CAGR since 2021, and their ARR has recently crossed to 50 crores. The money they have raised currently will go into product innovation and expanding their omni-channel presence. So if I look at their entire journey, they started in 2014 with baby gear like strollers, car seats, and high chairs. From 2017 to 21, they moved into ride-ons, nursery products, bathing, and then feeding and baby care. From 2022 to 24, they scaled across online and offline, where they reached 2,000 partners and built that 50 lakh parent community. And now in 2025, they have raised this 225 crore round, and their ARR has also crossed 250 crores. So this is about R for Rabbit.
The next startup that we have, I think it is going to be relevant for Gen Z, for Gen Alpha, and for the upcoming generations as a consumer for this product, I feel. So, with the advent of technology, I think we all can understand that we do not truly grasp the of continuous interaction with technology, laptops, mobiles on our sleep cycle or sleep pattern or the quality of sleep, right? I have friends who usually look at iPads 1 or 2 hours before they go to sleep, and then they complain about waking up in a very, how do I say, either in a very tired manner or in a very active manner, right? So what happens is that when you go to sleep, if you get good quality sleep for 7, 8 hours, when you have not watched any screen time, you wake up not exactly completely energetic, but fresh. But when you go to sleep and you get maybe 4 to 5 hours of sleep and you have had exposure to blue light before going to sleep for a significant period of time, you might wake up energetic, but that is because of cortisol induced sleep, which means your brain wakes up with a panic kind of mode, ready to engage the world, right? Now, the startup that I'm going to talk about is called Aether Mindtech. Aether Mindtech was founded in 2020. It's headquartered in Hyderabad, Telangana. The founders and CEO is PV Shyam Sundar. And there are multiple co-founders who hold CFO, CEO, CMO positions. The core mission of Aether Mindtech is to build non-invasive, science-driven neuro-wellness solutions for sleep, stress, and cognitive performance. Their flagship product is Evolve 28, which is a wearable, I think, headband that uses variable complex weak magnetic fields called VCMF to improve sleep quality, reduce stress, and enhance focus. They recently got a funding of almost $500,000 in pre-Series A, which is, I think, equating to 4.5 crores. The investors were Anthill Angel Fund, a lot of family offices like Max Nemmers, Radhika, Lakshmikant, MEITY Startup Hub linked investors. And the use of the proceeds are going to be towards expanding clinical validation programs, pursue regulatory clearances in US and Europe also, apart from doing trials in India, scale distribution via partnership and digital channels, and advance product innovation. Now, when you look at this industry, right, I think I would call this industry something like a global sleep economy, if you can call it. And you will be surprised to know that it's already almost half a trillion dollar industry. This just does not include EEGs or VCMF that we talked about, but also magnesium sprays. If you have noticed in the market recently, I use magnesium spray because, and even though people say it might not be good, it definitely helps me get a deep sleep. So coming to the technology, we talked about what Aether Mind Tech use. It's called VCMF, which is Variable Complex Weak Magnetic Fields. Now, when you talk about any kind of brainwave based functional technology, there are three kinds. One is called EEG. It's a non-invasive, but it is not used for treatment. It is just used to measure your brain waves, right? So a lot of companies use EEG, even hospitals, to measure your brain waves, but they do not administer anything based out of it, right? Next comes, I would say, VCMF, which is variable complex weak magnetic field. You don't need any clinical approval. It is not used for any therapy or depression or any kind of clinical yeah, usage. It's basically an active neuromodulation using ultra low magnetic fields, and it's very low intensity. It's wearable. It is safe for daily use, and Aether Mindtech has a proper patent on this VCMF technology, and it helps sleep improvement, reduces stress, gives you good quality sleep. And the third level of administration is called TMS or RTMS, which is transcranial magnetic stimulation. It is high intensity pulse magnetic stimulation targeting brain regions, which is used for therapy, for depression, for OCD, for treatment resistant conditions. So because of the way that they have placed their patent and the technology, VCMF, it is neither just for observing, neither for clinical trials. It can be used at home safely. That's what they claim. And even the reports show that, various reports. And it's a gentle activity. The reports are very good in the initial trials. They want to not only use it in India, their expansion plan is to reach US and European markets too. If you're aware that Indian market is a huge exporter of a lot of medical, not only like Sun Pharma, who sells a lot of affordable medical supplements to US and Europe, especially US, but also equipments are being exported from India. And India itself is a hub for foreigners to come and take very affordable, invasive as well as non-invasive treatments, right? So it's not surprising to see Aether Mindtech, an Indian startup targeting the global sleep economy. I think it is a very good move towards addressing an issue which we don't truly understand, but needs kind of a solution, right? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of low quality sleep happening around people in my circle. Same with me, but I'm trying to take active measures to get that. And I'm sure people in the coming years, um, they would want something like this, even if not Aether Mindtech, a wearable technology, but even solution based sprays that can help you out. So the business model right now is basically packages which are used by enterprises, by individuals, or by clinics. And the package lies from 19,000 or 20,000 basic per year to 34,000, which is a premium package. And they have 4 modules that come under these packages, right? The modules target basically tracking your brain waves, modulating your brain waves by inducing theta or alpha brain waves and giving you better sleep, and also some other offerings that they're coming out with right now. Right now, they have been doing clinical iterations for an R&D for the past 5 years. They have developed a hardware that they can use, and they have certifications. The next step right now, as they have said already, is not only getting the patent in India, but also getting all the required certifications and patents in US and Europe, because Indian patent market and also the patent market in Europe and US are different, right? They are not yeah, they're completely exclusive, and for that matter. So they want to expand, and they will start with the certifications and the patents and putting the product out in the market. I can say it's expensive. It is not that cheap, and the target market in India at least will be mid to high tier income. I can see tier one cities taking it up faster, and even in that, I would say the people who are earning good amount of money, I mean, a few lakhs or like a year probably, would be taking this up if they are. And I don't see this penetrating the tier two market right now because it is not a affordable and cost effective measure, I mean, equipment to use along with subscription. And right now, the channels that they have is direct to consumer, which is online sales, India and global through their website. They're tying up with sleep clinics, wellness centers, and corporate wellness partnerships. I think that is where the majority of focus is right now, and B2B partnerships for clinical and research use.
The next we are going to talk about is Stanza Living. It was started in 2006, 2017 by Ananya Datta and Sandeep Dalmia. Both of them were IIM Ahmedabad alumnus, and I'm talking about their experience. That's why I'm talking about their experience first. Is Anindya comes from Goldman Sachs and real estate investing, and Sandeep had a previous consulting experience in BCG. They did not build these properties themselves. Instead, they lease these apartments for from owners or developers, then convert and manage them, fully furnished with services like meals, Wi-Fi, laundry, housekeeping. So it's an asset-light model. They started with around 100 beds in Delhi to now they have 75,000 plus beds in 24 cities. If I talk about their business model, they earn majorly from the rental income plus additional services like food, annual maintenance, and interest. In 20, FY23, they had a revenue of 440 crores, which was up from previous year revenue of 115 crores. So that is almost a 3.8 to 4x jump. Also, in the same time, their expenses shot up to 950 crores in 23 to from 570 crores in 22, where their losses also increased by 19%, that they had 490 around 500 crore losses that year. The competition in this space is your space, Colas, Settle, and even rentals like Nestaway. Some like Colive operate similar leased inventory or revenue sharing models. Other like Nestaway are more rental sharing focused. Uh, how Stanza sets apart is that it has more tech-enabled operations and full stack service approach through the for both students and professionals. It recently the round they raised was of 60 crore, that is in debt from Altaria and Innovent Capital, and this was through non-convertible debentures. Prior to this, in May, they also raised 110 crores in bridge round by Alpha Wave. It had also contributions from Matrix, Axel, and Peak XV, which brought their valuation to 3,900 crore. How they started was in 2016 to 2017, they had 100 beds in just Delhi. For 2018-19, they got early funding from Sequoia, which was a 10 million round, from which they expanded into food, tech, and multiple cities. For 20 to 2022, they again raised debt at equity funding that was around 57 million. In 2024-25, they had this bridge round of 110 crores and 60 crore debt. And now their revenue estimates are around 180 crore and in revenue and 50 crore losses. What they are planning to do with this round is they want to expand in new cities and campuses, possibly internationally, and they want to boost the resident engagement via events. Uh, they are also the focus for this round is they are exploring these partnerships with universities and corporate players.
Okay. So I think we have couple of things which we are going to do in the coming weeks. We have few webinars coming up. We will be discussing the themes of the last quarter, which is coming to an end in the next month, where we'll conduct probably or organize three or I think 4 or 5 webinars. We'll bring in VCs, late stage founders, etc., and discuss around those themes. Those could be sectoral themes. Those could be about growth investing or stage of investing. These could be around any other trends in the market, which we have observed over last 3 months.
Mhm.
Also, there is a report which is coming out, I think, in the next few days, where Preksha and I have worked, which is around um, fund managers in India and the LP base, domestic LP base. So I think around that also probably we can do a discussion. It's a 3 or 4 page document. We can talk about that also, right? So those are two exciting things which we have lined up, and looking forward to your participation in those. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you.